What's good, y'all? Back again. Another day. I'm headed to South Carolina to grab Coy, going to my mom's spot to get him. Another car ride. That's just the life that I live. It's always on the road, always on the go, always moving. You gotta be dynamic out here. You can't really be static, sitting in one place stuck. You gotta be able to pick up and move, because you never know what's really gonna happen. Granted, this isn't a situation where I'm just out in the road making moves or something like that. I'm going to pick up Coy. But, a lot of these videos are going to be in the car. They are going to be me going places, me doing things, because that's just the way that my life is set up. But, I don't know. We may have some more content. It might just be another video day. We'll kind of see how it goes. But I wanted to talk about always seeking new information. You always got to be learning. You always got to be going after knowledge and information and learning as much as you can, because we live in the information era, and you just got to be able to take in as much information that you can, but it has to be useful information that you can apply. And that's one of the things that I can say that's beneficial about school, because it's direct information that you can use and apply depending on what you go to school for. Grade school, it pretty much just prepares you to have basic things to get to the next level, which is college, if that's where you want to go. But college and the actual world is where you get information that teaches you how to maneuver. Because right now, with the internet and social media, there's just a bunch of information out here, and if you're just trying to grab everything, then you don't retain anything. So you have to chart your own course of information and figure out what you want to learn and how it'll benefit you to get you to the next level, because the world is very, very, very dynamic. The world is ever changing. If you look at a leaf of grass and you think, oh, it's just a piece of grass, no, that grass is growing. Everything is moving. The world itself is always moving. So you always have to be moving. You always have to be able to adapt to situations and circumstances and think on your feet. It's good to have a plan. It's good to be structured. It's good to be organized. But also understand that plans change. You try to be as structured and as detailed as possible, but you always leave room for the understanding of knowing that things shift and things change. And I've learned that in my entrepreneurship out here, just living in the world. If you're thinking things are always going to be a straight line, one of my favorite shows right now is Succession. And it's about a very, very rich guy that owns a media company, and he has 3 kids, and they're trying to figure out what his succession plan is and who he's going to lead the business to. And so one day he was talking to his daughter, and his daughter was like, we have to draw a line in the sand. We have to make sure that people understand that this is the line and we don't cross it. And the dad just dropped so much game on her. It was so simple. He was like, you got to understand that we can draw a line, but the line is always changing. The line is always moving. And what that means is, if you're fighting in a war, or if you're driving, you have a destination and you know where you're going, you know what the objective is, you know what the outcome is that you want to have, but the way that you get there may change. Any good GPS is going to set you on one path, but if there's an accident or something, it'll adjust and say, hey, save 5 minutes by taking this route, or it'll give you multiple options to get to the same place. And that's the mindset that you have to have. Yeah, this is my plan. I want to get from A to B, but along the way, I may have to make a right turn here or a left turn here. I may have to adjust or maneuver or adapt to survive the circumstances, because things have changed. So, that's just a quick little gem that I wanted to throw out there. Like I said, we got more. I'm going to show y'all what Tommy cooked yesterday. She was in the kitchen whipping it up. We watched a TikTok, and it was talking about a movie, Nocturnal Animals, and definitely check out the first introduction opening scene. Even if you don't watch the whole movie, man, just just look at that first opening scene, and it's really, really crazy. So I'm gonna post our reaction of that. I may tie it to this video. I may make it a separate video. We'll see. But that's where we are right now. That's what crossed my mind. That's what I wanted to drop on y'all. So I'll chap in a little later and we'll go from there. It's good, y'all. I wanted to give you a quick tour of where I was when things got rough. I was at my uncle's crib. This is how we was rocking with it. This used to be my room. As you can see, he got me up out of there. This was our bathroom. We used to share it, make it work, make it do what it do. You know, it's so crazy because it's just a testament of how life and your circumstances can change. One day you hear, a couple months later, you in a whole new city, totally different situation, and things just work out for the better. So, you know, it doesn't matter where you come from or where you start at. All that matters is where you going and where your plans are. And, you know, one day I'll break down the video and tell y'all how I ended up here and what happened. But it's not time yet. You know, I need more subscribers so I can really, really, really break down the situation and the circumstances for those that don't know. But, you know, take a look, see around. Anything is possible, baby. You can make it. It's all for you, you know. Just stay consistent, stay focused, and don't be down. All right, so we're going to give y'all a front cam tour. Excuse the dirty mirror, well, dirty window. So I just left my uncle's house at the stop sign. I'm going to show y'all what I used to do. I used to walk to my job at the time, which was Food Lion. So I'll cut through that park over there, down that path, and we'll go down. And I'm not gonna go that way. Obviously, I can't cut through the path, but I want to show y'all something else just to give y'all a little background information. This right here is the second school that I taught at. I'm gonna show y'all. Turn the camera. All right, we'll turn the corner rather. But yeah, this is the second school that I ever taught at back when I was a teacher. Then it's elementary school. Back then it was Bishopville Primary Annex. It was 4th and 5th grade. I taught there for 2 years, but very loyal person. So once I told my principal I'll stay there as long as she was there. So she ended up moving, going somewhere else, and I left as well. And that's when I went to Columbia. Coy was 1 at the time, and you know, he was a baby, and I started teaching up there, and that's where I quit, and that's how I got into real estate, that story. But yeah, this is the other side of the path I was showing you. So I'll come down this road right here, and then bust this right, all walking. I'll cut through here, go down this street, and all foot, rain, sunshine, whatever, I had to get it. I would cut through that yard right there on the right. So we busting this right. And don't worry, I promise we're going somewhere. I'm trying to school y'all on something, man. So we cut that right, go through there, walk down this road, and we'll bust this left right here, go down this road. And usually I had 2 options. I could either go straight down Main Street, but I didn't really want anybody to see me walking, so I would bust this right, because at the time I didn't have a car, and I wasn't really the happiest camper with my situation. So I walked through, come straight down here, and like I said, rain or shine, no matter what the case was, had to get out and get it. So I walk down this road, and you know, the biggest thing was, like I said, I was embarrassed, so I didn't really want people to know that I was walking in my situation and my circumstances at the time. So cut through here. Some days I would cut through the park and go straight down the Main Street. Other days, if I really wanted to be low, I would continue straight down this path, and usually I'd be listening to an audio book or something just to keep my mind sharp, you know, just to get ready for the day or whatever the case was, and go through it, get my mind right, get some knowledge, get some information, sit back back and strategize and plan on what I was going to do once I got back on my feet. So I bust this left here, and as you can see, we're coming up on the main road. So we go down this main road, walking, and then once we get to the stop sign, we bust this right, and once we bust this right, we have a couple feet, couple steps, and we would end up at Food Lion. That's right, guys, I was walking to Food Lion. That's where I was working at the time. And don't get me wrong, Food Lion is a great place, man. Food Lion was a lifesaver. It really helped me out, and it put me in a position to be able to move and maneuver how I needed to. But at the time, it was very embarrassing because, you know, I had a master's degree, I had all of this stuff going on, but life had different plans in mind, and it sent me to Food Lion. And I was grateful for the opportunity because really they looked out heavy. You know, it was somewhere that I could walk to and get to on my own without having to depend on anybody. I was getting paid, and it worked out, and it was a blessing in disguise. But, you know, with a master's degree, I didn't want to work at Food Lion, and that's where, like I said, I was walking, cutting corners, and going behind places and things because I didn't want people to see me. I'm Kurt, you know, I've been talking all this big talk, I'm never coming back home, I'm never doing this, I'm never doing that. Life had other plans, and it ended with me being at Food Lion. And if that was the end of the story, you know, but it wasn't. There were other plans in store, there were things in motion, and it just so happened to work out, and I was able to grind my way out of that situation and that circumstance to be in much better positions with much bigger opportunities. So like I said earlier, don't let where you are currently define where you're going or stop you. Just keep pushing, keep striving, keep doing what you got to do, and eventually it does get better. This is my old room when I was in high school and stuff. Just living with moms. As you can see, been a Braves fan, been a Hawks fan, been a Falcons fan. Highly decorated, you know, highly decorated. My mom took over and made it an Eagles room, and then Coy took over and put his stuff in there. So, you know, this is what you get. But yeah, this was my room. I used to sneak out that window and try to be grown.
The lion thing.
Also, more awards. But yeah. What up, y'all? We back. Just checking in. Left my grandparents' house. Headed back to the crib in Charlotte. And if you got grandparents at this age, man, well, if you're older and you have grandparents that are older, man, check on your grandparents and just talk to them. You know, hell, even your parents, you know, if you don't have the best relationship with them, at least get an understanding of them and understand what made them them. You know, I don't necessarily have the best relationship with either of my parents, but I've been reaching out trying to bridge that gap and understand better, because the more I learn about my parents, the more I learn about myself. You know, genetics is real, experiences are real. You know, I don't see my dad every day. I haven't seen my dad a lot, but the times that we connect, I saw him recently. It ain't like that. But what I'm saying is, you know, I haven't hung around my dad as much as Boy hangs around me, but we still have a lot of the same mannerisms. We still have some of the same characteristics. A lot of people that have seen both of us even say we look alike, you know. So I say that to say you gotta understand your parents. You gotta know your parents. You don't necessarily have to like them. You don't necessarily have to agree with them, but you have to understand what made them them. And you also have to be willing to submit to truth, whatever that truth is. You know, even if your parents are like coons or weirdos, you still want to learn and understand turn around and maneuver and get things done on you. That's just who they are. It's their nature. It's truth. And their truth is that. So you have to understand and submit to that truth. Also, I've been looking at a lot of things in the media, and I try not to get too political, and I won't get too political, but what I will say, man, is me personally, I'm not bashing any other black people for working hard, and it's something that I grapple with, but, if I see a coon, I'm gonna call him a coon, but at some point you realize that you have to be the beacon, and you have to be the light, and you have to show people a different way. You can sit there and criticize somebody for doing what they feel is best, but that method may not be for you, and it may be detrimental to other people. That's when you say something. But as far as tearing people down and criticizing people, we're all here, like we're all out of our element, and we're trying to survive and do what we have to do to get by. Some people are stronger than others, some people are weaker than others, so people that fold and they do things that are unacceptable, we don't agree with, call them out in-house, and then you move on. You let people know, like, hey, that person, it's no bad blood, but we just don't agree on things. He sees things differently than I do. If you want to work with that person, or if you like that person, you follow that person's ideology and views, I understand, and just keep it moving. Like, we don't really have time to be arguing and dealing with things. It's too late in the game for that. If you're about that life, and you're moving, and you're bringing about change, and you're raising the status quo, and you're elevating and moving to a higher level, then that's what you focus on. And you lift up when you can, you help when you can, and then the others, it is what it is. Because a lot of people are satisfied with where they are, and they want to be where they are. And you sit there and try to change them or lift them up, you'll end up hurting yourself. And that's the last thing you want to do as a person that's trying to elevate and advance in this life, in this society. You help where you can, you lift up where you can, you enlighten where you can, you give them that information, you change their life, the ones that want it, the ones that don't, and it is what it is. Because information is so cheap these days, like we were talking about earlier, that people don't really value or appreciate things that can change your life, things that can make you better. You gotta be willing to humble yourself and listen to somebody that knows more than you, that can put you on a better path, or change your life, or change your trajectory. But at the same time, you gotta know who not to listen to, who to stay away from, who to distance yourself from, who to avoid. Discernment. And that takes time and wisdom. You're gonna have to bump your head, and you're gonna have to go through some things. But once you gain that discernment, life gets so much easier, it gets so much clearer. So basically, I said all of that to say, spend time with your people, get to learn, get to know them, get to learn them for your sake. Yeah, it's selfish, but you need to know everything about everybody around you. You need to know about the people that made you, for better or worse, because those are the people that determine what. It's like the default manual. You can tweak a car, you can make changes to it, you can make it better, but you still need to know what went into making that car, or what the base model does. That way you can improve upon it. You feel me? Shout out to Tommy and all of the food that she took. And we just got so much food. Nachos, apple pies. Shout out to Tommy. Look at her. Put in that work.